And welcome back. Let's check in with our man on the ground in Seattle, Mark Taylor-Canfield. Hey, Mark, what's going on there?
Hey, Tom. It's been a very busy time for journalists like me lately. The Democrats in Washington state started to panic when MAGA-backed Republican candidate Tiffany Smiley started gaining in the polls. So I've been covering these events where they're pulling out all the stops, bringing in Senator Elizabeth Warren to town for an event at Seattle Center.
Tiffany Smiley running against Patty Murray? Yeah, okay.
Yes. And she has questioned the result of the 2020 presidential elections. So, as I said, they've been pulling out all the stops. They had a big event with Governor Jay Inslee, Pramila Jayapal, and Elizabeth Warren at Seattle Center last week. The polls show Murray at 49% and Smiley at 41% with 10% undecided. But every time they poll, she gains in the results. And Warren actually accused all GOP candidates who accept MAGA and Trump PAC money, which would include Smiley, of being in collusion with the insurrectionists on January 6th. So she's definitely been used as the attack dog. And also, VP Kamala Harris was in town for a fundraiser for Murray this week with Governor Inslee at the famous Showbox Theater, which is a very famous music venue in Seattle that musicians and bands across the country have been able to save from the wrecking ball. Harris was also here with EPA Administrator Michael Regan touting the bipartisan infrastructure bill and plans to provide 2,500 electric buses for public schools across the country. But I've got an exclusive interview with Washington State Democratic Chair Tina Podlodowski, and you can see that at my YouTube channel. And she talked about threats to democracy during these midterms, including, of course, the vote suppression in places like Georgia and the millions of dollars of dark money being used to produce attack ads against Democratic candidates with mostly false propaganda. And this is a quote from her. Quote, "The post-Citizens United era is an era where billionaires are buying elections," and she called it, quote, "our worst nightmare." Yeah. The good news is it looks like Washington will get its first Democrat as Secretary of State in 60 years, Tom. Podlodowski pointed out that since 2017, Republican secretaries of state here in Washington have purged 327,000 voters, most of them who had Hispanic-sounding surnames. And this is a story that most folks don't know about, but I
didn't even realize you had a Republican Secretary of State in Washington State.
Yes, like I said, I've been talking to Greg Palast about this because most people don't know. But of course, geographically, most of the eastern part of the state has been traditionally controlled by Republicans. Right. So no surprise there. But another race, too, that's very close, the 8th Congressional District, Democrat incumbent Schreier is leading Republican Larkin by only 3 percentage points. So as Senator Murray told her supporters in Seattle, no seat is completely safe this year. So the third-ranking Democrat in the Senate has enjoyed a safe seat for 3 decades previously, but not so much this year, Tom. And Tiffany Smiley is really an outrageous candidate. She definitely is a Trump-style candidate that,
amazing,
unfortunately, possesses all of the bad qualities of that movement.
Yeah. Patty Murray is a good candidate. I mean, you know, I don't agree with her 100% on everything, but yeah, I did a fundraiser for her at her home. I mean, years ago. I mean, or I attended a fundraiser for her at her home. You've got some good Democratic politicians there in Washington State. I'm just astonished, though, that Washington State has elected a Republican Secretary of State. That's for years. That's amazing. Mark, I got to run, but Mark Taylor-Canfield, thanks a lot for the report.
Thanks, Tom. See you later.
Yep, good talking to you. It's 10 minutes before the hour. We'll be right back. Hey, I have a new book out. It's called The Hidden History of Neoliberalism, How Reaganism Gutted America and How to Restore Its Greatness. Greg Palast calls it a hand grenade of a book. You can pick it up wherever fine books are available. Tag you're it. Welcome back. 1 in 3 election workers across the United States have quit their jobs over fear of safety. And the media, again, is like, gee, they're afraid. What are they afraid of? They're afraid of Republicans. It's who is threatening them? Republicans. Let's just say it out loud, media. Please. I find myself yelling at the TV. I wanted to tweet at CBS this morning. I was watching CBS News, and they never once mentioned the source of these threats against election workers. Never once.